Hello, everyone. Welcome to Misscliks Risen, Episode 3. We're back after a little bit of a break. While all you Americans filled your bellies, and us Canadians just lived life normally. So let's just do a quick. I'm Curtis Weeb. I'm the GM, and I've been handling the story for this second season, and it's been a lot of fun. And you can find me on Twitter at Curtis J. Weeb. Meanwhile, let's go around doing introductions. Britt.
Hello, I'm Britt. I am Lalu Erish in this game, a druid tiefling, Circle of the Moon, level 4. Very excited to play more D&D. Danny, what's up?
Hi, I'm Danny Hartel. You can find me on Twitter at Danny Hartel. I'm playing Wiley, the half-orc mystic who's 12 years old and very excited to be here. Neil, tell us about yourself.
Hello, I'm Neil, also Koibu. You can find me at twitch.tv/Koibu. I'm playing Lingus Volmator, a human fighter, and a slightly unstable person. Kelly.
I'm Kelly Link. You can find me on social media at Hello Kelly Link. I play Yori Diggle, who is a halfling rogue / adventurer. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into this, man. The break that we had, it was too long. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. We are gonna find out what exactly that deep, disturbing voice was that seemed to erupt from the ground, and see what the effects are of half of the party taking mushrooms from a strange satyr named Paul Stamets. We will find out when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. So let's dig into episode 3. We'll do a quick recap for any who are just joining us. This party was desperate to leave the island of Chult because they'd had enough of this godforsaken place. And in their journey, ended up being shipwrecked in an unknown place. It turns out that they have been shipwrecked back in Chult. And they don't know exactly where they are in the region, but they are slowly making their way through the jungle. They've come across a friendly setter named Paul Stamets, and he is a mycologist and has been very, very helpful to the party. And the last we left off, 2 members of the party decided that they were going to dig a hole and put him in it. And as they were putting the satyr into the hole, a dark, deep voice erupted from the ground around them and asked them what they were doing in his jungle. And that's we are just going to take it off from there. So what do you do?
I kind of just look over at Britt and then kind of back at Paul and then back to Britt.
You mean Lalu?
Lalu, yes.
Who's this Brit person?
Where is the satyr right now, or is he like?
The satyr Paul Stamets is been pushed into a hole, and you are currently burying him in the ground.
I didn't know if we were like holding him down or like just shoving sand on top of him.
Yes.
I stop for a second and wait to hear if any other things will be said. I mean, is there like a 3-second pause? If there's longer than like a 4 or 5 second pause, I'm gonna like start quickly continuing to put sand in the hole, finish filling.
All right, so there's a pause. There's no further voice, but the trees and the foliage around you starts to slowly kind of shift, as though there's a wind, but there is no wind. It's like there's just dead air here, but the trees are starting to move a little bit. And there's a rumbling coming from somewhere nearby you. You can't really get a sense of where it's coming from, but it feels like it's moving closer. Yori, you are still you had this vision that the jungle was kind of swallowing you whole. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
And just to remind everybody, Wiley is asleep.
Wiley is fast asleep right now. That's right.
Is it with an advantage or disadvantage?
Definitely not.
Oh,
So you feel like the ground beneath you is turning into this soft, almost like comforting warm mud as you slowly slide deeper, and you can still see above you as it slowly kind of the surface fades in the distance, and you're moving further and further away from your friends and the world in general. You feel like you're slipping into another dimension. It's very strange. Wiley, you can make a perception roll to see if you hear the deep rumbling voice.
let me open my sheet. Boop. Nope.
All right. You kind of do wrestle a little bit from your sleep. Like there's something that, like the ground maybe stirs a little bit underneath you, like something kind of went under you, but it's not enough to wake you. You just kind of come into semi-consciousness and turn over, but you're not in a deep sleep anymore.
Okay.
So Lingus and who else we got there?
Lalu,
that's right. Lingus and Lalu, you two, it's been about 4 or 5 seconds and there's no sense, but the jungle seems like it's moving.
Dig faster, Lalu. Hurry, quickly. I'm going to get my sword. And I scurry off to go, grab my armor and my shield and my sword and start gearing up. And I'm going to wait until I'm done gearing up before I wake the others, because I don't want them to stop Lalu from burying the Seder Paul Stamets.
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous at this point, but if he tells me to keep going, I'm just gonna keep doing it, and I'm just doing it while watching him, trying to see if there's some kind of plan coming together.
So Lingus takes off, and you are going to continue bearing. In order for you to do that, though, you're gonna have to remove your hands from his mouth.
Is there anything around me that I could shove into his mouth that would keep him
leaves, dirt, twigs.
All right, yeah, I'll just grab I'll keep one hand on his mouth and pick up a bunch of that.
Okay.
what are you guys doing?
And shove it into his mouth.
Okay, so he
tell
starts
him to be quiet.
choking.
Just
All right.
be quiet. Shush. And then I just bury his head as fast as I can. I mean, how high are we? How close are we to being done burying him?
You're about half done.
Okay,
And
I'm gonna go ahead and bury his top half a little more and just get his head under there.
So as Lingus, you run back to grab your gear. You hear again from the jungle around you, "Why have you destroyed my shelter?"
Faster, armor, shield, sword. Where's my sword? There's my sword. Okay, I don't have a sword. A club. I have a club. That sort of quick, hurried activity followed by kicking of tents or bedrolls or people on the ground. Wake up! Orc girl, wake up!
Didn't you get a short sword?
I can't remember.
Yeah, Paul Stamets gave you that before you buried him.
Oh, how nice of him!
So you gather up your stuff as quickly as you can, and at that point, Lalo, you can make a perception roll as you're currently just burying him in the sand or in the jungle muck.
Wait, so Lingus, were you kicking us to wake up now?
Yes, I'm starting to wake people up because his voice is terrifying me.
So you quickly go over and you kick Wiley, and Wiley, you don't have to make a roll. You just wake up. As that's happening, you hear this bit of a ruckus over there, Lalu. You see what it looks like where there are multiple trees that are jungle trees that are close together. Something starts to kind of form coming out of each tree. Foliage starts to grow in between the spaces between these three trees and slowly starts to coalesce about 10 feet away from you. And it starts to coalesce into this giant writhing plant mass. And it's continuing to grow in size. Right now, it's about 8.5 feet high, and it's continuing to grow. And you hear another deep, rumbling voice. "I will make you part of my home."
So What do you even? Wiley's like looking around and like just trying to figure out what's even going on, but I'm sure she's too dumb to even understand at this point.
You already make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ooh.
All right, so suddenly you just like you're hearing these weird echoes in the roots that are gathered around you. You can see them branching out above you, trying to close in around you, and you wake up, and sure enough, like you kind of snap to, and this vision fades, and you find that you are actually being pulled into earth. There's a bunch of roots and vines that are slowly pulling you underground. Right now, you're about waist deep, and they're really strong vines pulling you underground. You don't have long before you're going to be completely underneath the ground.
Can I use acrobatics to get out?
Sure, go ahead.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's good.
Nimble.
So as it starts to pull you out, you manage to ride your way out, trying to feel the way that these vines are pulling you. And you kind of twist your body at this way where you lunge out as you pull another branch. It doesn't seem to be connected to these vines that are pulling you down. And you pull yourself out from the ground, and these vines are kind of like going like this, trying to grab your feet as you go. But you manage to get out just scant inches away. So this is what you guys see as you slowly kind of all come to realize what is happening in this moment. This is the layout, and what you see is this. Just got to change its layer.
Ooh.
Oh! Oh boy.
Creepy.
Paul Stamets kind of lays there half buried up in his chest, and he looks up with wide eyes. He's like, "Oh, I don't think that's good, guys." He spits out all the leaves and stuff. He's like, "I didn't appreciate that, by the way. That wasn't very nice."
Just kick a bunch of dirt and stuff at him.
Wiley like stands up and runs over, like she's just like running, like trying to make sure all of her friends are okay.
Okay. So you basically I'm gonna see. You start where you are on the screen, but so you're gonna run and save your friends. What is everybody else doing this at exact moment? Lingus, you've got all your stuff. I'll say you get your gear on in time.
If I see this thing, I'm gonna run and put myself between it and Lalu, who is unarmored, or at least unarmed at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm unarmed. I'm kind of like amazed at this thing. It's a giant plant, so I'm terrified of it, but I'm also just like, whoa. Like, it's kind of cool.
Okay, Yori, you actually, when you stand up and run away from the vines, you see this thing as well in the distance, this giant shambling plant monster. And it's huge. Now that it's kind of fully coalesced around just out the outside of one of those trees, it stands about 10 feet high, and its shape is constantly changing, like this amorphous mass of plants and vines. It is a massive, massive thing. However, you have a weird affinity with it. There's something about it that you feel like you have some kind of weird connection, meaning you get advantage on anything you do against it.
Ooh, okay.
What?
All right.
Let's I guess at this point, yeah. So Yori, what are you doing? Lalu, you're just kicking sand in Paul's face.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of like standing there, sort of trying to figure out what I should do.
So you're kind of frozen?
About, can I light it on? Like, trying to figure out if I can light it on fire. Yeah, I think.
Can I light it on fire?
I think because it hasn't hurt me yet, and I have a feeling of affinity towards it, I don't actually want to attack it. I'm more so perplexed as to why Paul is half buried in the ground while Lou is kicking sand at him.
Yeah.
and Yori just yells out, "What is going on?" And that's it. I don't know. If no one wants to respond back, that's fine.
I think Wiley runs over to Yori. Because I see that she's alone and the other two are doing some shit. And so I'm just like, The little one is alone. I need to go be with her.
Okay, so you
I don't
run
know.
over to Yori.
Yeah, how I think
You
no.
can just move your icon there. So
Okay.
this thing is just standing there, and the plant vines and like almost like tentacles are kind of writhing around it, and it stays where it is. You don't see any discernible face or anything like that. It's just this massive.
Can I ask Paul if he knows what it is?
Paul's still taking the twigs and the brand, everything out of his mouth that you kicked into it. I don't know what it is. It looks to me like some kind of giant amorphous plant creature.
Yeah. Yeah, we got that. Just
I'm
annoyed.
gonna be honest. I'm not really inclined to help you out in this situation, so I'm just gonna go. And he literally just gets up, pulls himself up out of the dirt, and runs into the jungle.
At first, I'm angry about this, and then I realize that I'm getting what I want kind of anyway, is that he's not around us anymore. So I'm just kind of like, I'll take it.
Okay.
I look at Lingus like, do you want to go chase him? He's gone, so either way, we reached our goal.
Wiley watches him run and is like, Paul, no! Bye.
I'm just like, get out of here! Yeah, go
So
away.
as you guys are yelling, this giant creature, you can hear this voice kind of start to boom out from it. Choose one to join the jungle.
Paul.
Yeah, wait, Paul, come back, Paul.
back, Paul,
Oh,
wait.
this is why we should have kept him buried.
I knew there was a good reason to put him in this hole. Stay back, creature. None of us will be joining you today.
Can I like talk? The creature can like understand me and stuff.
It's speaking in common.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I say like, hi, is there something we can help you with? Did we offend you? I would like to understand the situation immediately, please. Begin talking now.
So it kind of slows like its movement, and it looks over into the distance. It looks, you can't really tell what it's like, where its head is. So it just kind of stops moving a little bit and says, I need nutrients for the soil.
Okay. We might be able to help you out with that, but you said
It's a
something
trick.
about hurting your house. Was this your house? And I point to like the little lean-to.
Yes, you destroyed it.
Are you the wizard that we've heard about, or the necromancer, or have you always looked like this?
I am the jungle of Chult.
Oh, okay, he's not the wizard, guys.
Okay.
It's not the same guy.
There was a wizard here, and I destroyed him. He will become part of the jungle.
Wiley goes, oh!
Is he totally dead or just mostly dead?
Dead and decomposing.
Oh, we needed to talk to that wizard.
Wait, so Nehemiah was the one.
Nehemiah was the druid.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. My notes are a complete wreck, so I'm just trying to
It's
read
been a
my
little
own writing. Yeah, okay, cool. So everybody's dead.
I'll sheathe my sword and speak to the shambling thingy, saying, Lord of Chult, we are but humble travelers through your kingdom, looking for people of our kind, very broadly our kind, civilized humanoids, really. Might you know of passage to civilization?
My reach is diminished. I seek nutrients. Bring me nutrients. I can tell you what lingers in the heart of the jungle.
Ooh.
Is there a deadline on these nutrients, or just any time? Are you in a rush?
My power weakens.
Oh,
I'm fading.
All right, understandable. So I I would like to telepathically say to Lingus, I can make him sit down and stay there if you don't hurt him. So please communicate with me before you make any dumb decisions.
Damn.
Lingus just
So-
nod.
Okay. So then I say to the group, should we like hunt for something to feed this guy? Because maybe he'll help. It sounds like he's down to maybe like give us a deal, and like you guys like ruined the relationship we had with Mr. Paul. So Lingus, do you have any ideas for where we could find some nutrients that are not Paul?
Look up at the giant mound. Well, this jungle crawls with dinosaurs, undead, tossiloi, basilisks, snakes, and lizards of all kinds. It shouldn't be too long before we run into one of these things. Unless, I'm looking at directly at the shambling thing, unless you know where one of these things is, my lord?
My senses are dulled. I see not far beyond this place.
Well, we will be very happy to accommodate your needs right after we finish our sleeping for the night.
Yes,
And
sleep.
Oh God.
Okay, so maybe we'll just get started right now. Yori, you're in charge.
Oh, now I'm in charge?
You've always been in
I don't
charge. Come on.
wanna be a part of this decision of burying the goddamn deer man in the ground.
Yeah!
We had to make that decision without you.
Really? I wonder why. Well, you know what? Now that you're making decisions without me, it really seems like you're doing a great choice. So we're here now, like dealing with this plant man. We're doing a great job. Keep making the decisions. And Yori's just kind of annoyed and mad and just stands up.
Hey, that plant man would have been hungry whether we buried Paul or not, okay? Let's just keep those separate.
We'll talk about Paul later, but if we can't find nutrients, I might be able to help us get out of this mess without getting into a huge battle or anything, because obviously we are ill prepared for most everything at the moment.
Are we ignoring the fact that he killed a wizard? Or it killed a wizard? Are you a he? Are you an it? Are you a spirit? Are you what?
I mean, wizard could have been a bad person. Could have been a good person. You never know. with wizard.
The mound, it actually, when you ask that question, from the very top of it, it starts to split and part down the center as though it's like becoming two halves. And it's just you hear this kind of ripping sound as vines kind of part all the way down to the center till about the 5-foot area in the center of it. And it continues to go down. And as you see it parts, there is a humanoid figure that is standing inside of it. And the vines and stuff slowly rip out of this humanoid figure's body. And it parts into two sides. And there's a male human standing there. His skin is kind of brown and green. There are like vines and branches growing out of him. And he has eyes, but they're closed. And his head is kind of down a little bit. And he responds, he says, I am a man that has become a jungle.
That's cool. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, she's having trouble breathing and just standing there staring at this terrifying thing.
Lingus is the one standing closest. And whoever this is, reaches out a hand and says, you make a deal, and I will take what you offer, and not one of you.
I reach out a gloved hand and firmly shake this thing. Is it an actual hand? Is it like a humanoid hand, or is it like a...
Yep.
Can I do the like Trump shake and kind of pull him closer to me so I can get a look at what might be inside of this?
You want to get closer to it.
What's on the other side of this arm?
So logical.
So you pull, you grab him and you pull him a little bit closer. He doesn't seem to resist. And when you pull, you actually notice that there's no resistance, because when you look down, his feet aren't on the ground. He's actually floating a little bit above it. And when you get close, you can see that there are about 20 or 30 heavy vines that are like lashed into his back like cables, and they continue into a mass of vines and this structure of foliage. And his eyes are still closed, and you kind of float. He's
Dr.
and he just
Octopus style.
kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Independence Day when they're down in the lower area and things choking the guy.
Sure.
Anyway.
Okay, so I'll just take a step back after seeing that and continue. You know, the handshake is done, and we will find you nutrients. And I kind of look back at the rest of the party. You're all peasants, right? How do you neutralize your crops?
I say to him, well, I mean, the only place we had nutrients was gifts from Paul and then the fruit from that tree. Maybe we should ask if fruit is on the menu, or like if he needs an animal, or if it even matters.
I think I only have like half of one of those pieces of fruit left right now. So I have to go find some more.
Probably have to find more of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I ask the plant man, do you have preference? Do you have dietary restrictions?
So he's there, and as you ask that question, he floats back, and the massive vines start to slowly close around him in this cocoon, and he disappears again inside, and you hear this rumbling, flesh.
Oh.
All right. So
Okay.
he doesn't like vegetables.
Okay.
Well, who's the best at hunting?
I've been trying to hunt for animals for the last 24 hours and haven't found anything.
Oh, well, how about this time we all go together, if Mr. Plantman will allow that. And I look at Plantman and I'm like, can we all just go together? We can like leave something with you. Okay, one remains. I think that's going to be Lingus because he's gotten into this mess. Everyone, anyone?
Or isn't Yori like into this plant thing a little bit?
Yori's the one with the weapons, I think. Like she's got the bow, right? Yeah.
Right, that's true. So I guess we need to take
Leave it to me. I would be happy to negotiate with the other lord in the area.
God, I've died. Okay.
Unless someone else would rather treaty with our...
No, I definitely think you
distinguished
should
host.
stay here and think about your actions a little bit. We'll go handle this. Ladies? I think, I don't know.
All right, so the three of you are going to head off and try to find some kind of sacrifice while Langus stays behind. So the three of you gather up whatever gear you have and just start to kind of trundle off into the jungle. Let's get survival checks from all of you as you leave this encampment area, leaving Langus behind with this weird plant monster.
Did I get a long rest since I slept?
No, it turned out to be a short rest.
Short? Okay.
Off to a good start, ladies, with those rolls. That's great.
Yeah.
Aren't I at a disadvantage? Aren't I more in tune with the forest?
You're in tune with whatever that thing is, not with the jungle itself. So you wander around for a little while, and sure enough, you do, after about half an hour of just kind of wandering aimlessly around in the jungle, you do come across a set of hooped tracks.
Okay.
Okay. Can I use my locate animal spell and like can I roll to identify what kind of animal the hooves belong to and then locate that animal?
Yeah, you can use that spell, sure.
Okay. Do I need to roll to figure out what the animal is first? Because the spell, you have to know the animal that you're looking for, and then you have to see if it's like a 5-mile range.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
It's Paul Stamets.
Gotcha. All right. Listen, Wiley. I know you really like Paul, but I think we're gonna have to sacrifice him. These are his these are his tracks. They're the only tracks we found the entire time we've been out here. We just have to get him and deliver him and let...
What? Is killing
That's
the monster not an
stupid.
option?
Yeah. There
Why
are
are
like
we killing the innocent dude instead of the monster?
The monster
Also-
doesn't seem too bad. I trust the
But Paul
monster more
seems-
than Paul.
okay. Paul gave Lingus a very nice weapon. He gave me food. He offered the rest of you food. Yori had got an upset tummy, but like she was taken
you
care
want
of
to
by
fight?
Paul.
You want to
So-
fight the jungle monster.
Listen, I have a spell that I haven't tried yet, but I really think it'll work. But I can make him depressed, and he'll just sit down.
Why do you like this? Why do you like Paul
He'll
so
just-
much? And you don't like the plant man? You don't like he has a voice. What is
No,
wrong?
I-
You don't want to be
I
friends with him?
like the plant man. I didn't say that either. I can just make him sad long enough
Okay,
that he will
asking for
sit down.
sacrifices? You like it? What is
Let's stop trying to just kill people and maybe think around these options we have.
I mean, that's why I'm trying to feed Paul to the jungle creature.
Well, that's dumb. He's been
I'm
nice
just saying,
to us.
I'm on the same page. I'm trying to
Not-
save lives here.
You are on the same page as yourself and no one else.
I think that Lingus would agree with me heartily, and the
Lingus-
plant monster would also agree with me. That's three of us.
Well,
Three
maybe
whole people.
maybe we try these
Plants.
other options, and if we can literally think of nothing else, we'll start sacrificing people who have been nice to us. But before we try all these other things, I'm not down.
I will try
Sorry.
2 things, and if 2 things don't work, I'm going to get Paul. I'm feeding
Okay.
him to the jungle monster.
So-
I'm doing
So as Lalu says that, you don't hear anything, but all of a sudden you look over your shoulders and Paul Stamets is standing right there,
Ha!
and he's like, "Lalu, I don't know
Paul?
what I don't know what I did to you.
I don't trust you, Paul.
Why?
Because something about you is not trustworthy.
What can I do to make sure that our relationship flourishes, and so that you don't send me like food to a monster?
Find something else to feed it. You can
I
help
have
us
mushrooms.
Find something else. It wants
Paul,
flesh.
it wants flesh. I'm sorry.
It
That's
needs
very kind of you,
flesh,
but
Paul.
we need some animal meats of some kind.
Well, I'm sure we can, all 4 of us together can figure something out. We can go through the jungle. I might be able to help you navigate through the jungle a little bit.
Sounds like a great plan.
All right.
Or
seems
we
fair.
could navigate through the jungle to civilization and leave Lingus there forever. Just kidding. I'm a little peeved at him, okay? You can understand. He's
Oh, Lingus
trying to
isn't
kill
very
my
grateful.
best friend. No, he's right, Paul. I'm so sorry that they did that to you. If I was awake, I would never have allowed it. Please forgive my friends. They're confused and hungry, I think. They're hangry. It happens.
The
I'm sure
jungle
you
is not a
understand.
comfortable place for anyone. I completely understand. I would like to go home, just like you would.
Maybe we can all go home. Let's see how we can get out of this situation, and we can all go home.
That sounds great. Let's go find us something to feed to the monster.
Yeah. I take Paul's arm, I arm him like this, and I'm just like, la la la, let's march off together. Because I'm really happy he's back and he wasn't buried alive for no reason.
All right.
I'm
So
just planning how to kill Paul if he fails to help us. Walking behind him.
So back to you, Lingus. You're standing there in front of this giant mass of vines and foliage. It's kind of quiet. Just the two of you.
So, my good lord, I do understand the need to remove the interlopers from your territory. I myself have many lands back home. Fortunately, they've all been taken from me and my people by damned fooled interlopers. So, I apologize most profusely for being an unwelcome guest.
Did you feast on their flesh?
No. I do not eat the flesh of my companions, just as you do not eat vegetation.
I recommend feasting on the flesh of your enemies.
You know, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So next enemy we find here in Schult, I will feast upon the flesh of. But do tell me, how goes your kingdom? Are your subjects loyal?
I have no subjects. I
Oh,
am the jungle.
I understand. I have no subjects either. Sometimes I feel like things are... This beard is like a jungle. It's just hot and dripping and itchy, and there's bugs in it. You and I have a lot in common, Shambling Mound. A lot in common.
My name is Nehemiah.
Nehemiah. I am Lingus Volmator, last of my line. A true pleasure to meet you.
Yes. What exactly are you doing in this jungle?
We are lost. We were trying to leave Chult, leave these lands for all time, but a storm came and wrecked us upon rocks. We washed up on shore and have been trying to leave this jungle ever since. We hope to escape with our lives.
He, still quiet. He slowly kind of shambles. This whole mass it doesn't really move so much as like plant vines and roots into the ground and then propel itself as it plants itself over and over again. It just kind of moves around you, and it's kind of circling around you a little bit.
I continue to converse with the creature. So, my dear fellow, what is it that you do for leisure? Since you have no subjects to rule, you must be filled with free time.
I rend bone and muscle.
Yes, I too like to train in my off hours, or at least I used to back before before the incident. But yes, perfectly reasonable. And I start like walking with it in a circle as if we're like walking together. And
Yes, you, Lingus, very fleshy, would make a good offering.
Surely you jest. We have made a deal, and I know a good lord such as yourself would never break a treaty.
So as you say that, you look down and you see what looks like a vine is about to wrap around your leg and then slowly goes back down again. Yes, the deal. You're right.
Yes. Well, fear not, my hungry king, if that is indeed your title. I'm not entirely sure here. Would you prefer magistrate, governor, king, emperor?
You can call me whatever you want. I don't really give a shit.
Wonderful. Well, my hunting companions will be back with you so soon. You don't know how pleasurable it is to speak to another person on my same footing. It's always traipsing around with the halfling or the demon or the half-orc, and while they're lovely people, and I do quite enjoy their company. In fact, one of them reminds me of my younger daughter. But it's nothing like discussing with a respected noble. It's a weight off my chest to find one of my equals in this horrible place.
So after you say that, the thing starts to part again and slowly reveals the humanoid form. And the humanoid form kind of floats out a little bit by the branches and vines. And again, doesn't open its eyes, but its mouth moves as it speaks. And he kind of just sits there for like a few moments, and he says, I have need of a hand once I reclaim the jungle as my own. Perhaps I can make you the king of Chult.
Only if you can do something about this oppressive heat. It's not so bad now, but I'm not staying in this jungle a moment longer than I have to. Not for all the lands and all the gold and all the glory in Chult. This place is a hellhole.
Oh my god.
You speak ill of my home.
You most certainly would think my home is a hellhole too. You eat my kinsmen. I eat your kinsmen occasionally. I do love a good mashed potato. But here we can be allies, friends.
Make a persuasion check.
Hurry up, guys! I can't stall them forever. With advantage?
No.
Do I have... Hold on. No, it's too late to use inspiration shit. Okay.
Did you have any inspiration?
No.
So it starts to close up again very quickly, and it seals itself into this frame again. And it says, "Tell me, Lingus,
Of course.
why did your people cast you out?" Did you break a deal?
Most certainly not. The lands where I come from were bordered to those plagued by war, and as the war dragged on, the effects spilled over into my lands. There were famines from raiders coming through and pillaging the lands. Our people were hungry. They demanded that we feed them when all of our supplies had already been spent feeding them. They saw us living comfortably in a castle and wrongly assumed that we were feasting while they were starving. They complained about the tax rate and yet did not think far enough ahead that tax rate was the only thing keeping them from certain death. We kept their enemies at bay on the border, and the lowly people of my land are complainers without a good perspective of the greater world order, and got angry and betrayed us. They broke our pact.
Make a persuasion check, you get advantage.
Yes! Don't eat me yet. Oh, wait, 18 is good. No, 18 is good. I will take that happily.
It goes quiet and stops moving. Back to you, ladies. Make survival checks as you continue to try to hunt around in the jungle for some kind of tracks. Eight. Guys.
I know.
Yuri, you're starting to get a sense of the jungle at this point. You failed so many times before that you're finally starting to be like, okay, I'm getting familiar. And you do find another set of lighter hooved tracks that are in pairs of, so it looks like 4 legs, not another Paul Stamets. They lead about, you can see that they're pretty fresh, and they head up a little bit of a ridge and up into a clearing in the jungle. You have to go through some heavy foliage to get there, but you are able to follow the tracks fairly well. You guess that they probably go on for about another 150 feet.
Okay. Can I move like 50 feet ahead and then move silently and try and use my bow?
Yeah, sure. Make a stealth check.
Wiley's trying to be really quiet, but she's really excited for Yori right now.
All right. So you slowly go up this embankment and push your way through the foliage as quietly as you can. And when you part some of the heavier foliage to pull yourself through, you come up to this small little clearing, very small, only about 10 feet wide. And the jungle is kind of all around it. And sure enough, there is a very small, it's not small, but a smaller deer-looking type creature with antlers, and the skin on it, the fur on it, it looks almost like it doesn't have fur, kind of almost like a hairless cat. And it's kind of just grazing around, has not noticed you.
Try and take a shot. Can I take it with advantage if I'm hidden again?
I'll give you advantage for the shot.
Okay.
Right out the gate.
Never mind. I don't want advantage.
All right. You take the shot, and the arrow just goes right through the heart, right at the side, and it kind of staggers forward a little bit, and after a couple of jumps, it slowly falters and falls to its side and lets out this kind of agonizing cry and then dies.
Oh, well, okay. She runs up to it, and I mean, is it just like a deer? Or is it something like? Well, she's actually no. Yori's careful. She crawls up to it slowly.
Okay.
Just being very careful with it.
All right, so you slowly creep up to it, and it lays there dead. As you get close enough, you can see it is some kind of deer native to this land. You've probably seen them before in your other treks through the jungle. Yeah.
All right. Wiley, can you carry this back to the monster creature thing?
Yeah.
So
Wiley.
Paul Stamets is there, and he kind of stands, and as he comes out of the foliage, he looks at the deer as Wiley's picking it up, and he's like, oh, "You killed my wife."
What?
Just kidding.
Oh my god. I like smack Paul on the shoulder, like, stop it! Stressful enough already, Paul.
He takes his pamphlets out, he's like, doo-doo, and then just kind of walks back into the jungle.
This is like a drum shot, like for a no joke.
Yeah.
Okay, so I pick up the not wife deer, and I guess just start walking back to where Lingus and.
All right, so all of you, the four of you, Paul Stamets, when you get to the edge of the encampment, he stops and he's like, "Oh, just one second. Considering that Lalu and Lingus were the ones that were trying to bury me alive, I don't know why they were doing that. Still haven't got any answers on that yet. Is it going to be okay for me to come into the camp without Lingus perhaps, stabbing me in the back or hacking off my legs?"
I have no idea.
I'll tell him to leave you alone. But you still have to help us get rid of this thing.
Okay. Why do I have to do anything? I've been pretty helpful so far.
Lalu, he's been very generous. I think we can stop making ultimatums of him because he's been understanding.
Sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
So,
yeah. 100%
no
on board.
Paul.
The ultimatum is over. Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you return into the camp. Lingus is standing there. This thing still hasn't been moving for probably the last 4 or 5 minutes, Lingus. It's just silently sitting there waiting.
That's okay. I'm talking to him about how to properly rule a kingdom. The rest of the party comes back in. I'm probably saying something to the effect of, and that is why you always need to keep a strong rule over your peasantry. Because the moment they get it in their mind that they can overthrow you, they will.
Hi, Lingus, we're here.
Oh, welcome, friends. I have been treating with our wonderful host here, who is most welcoming.
He will not be quiet.
Sorry about that. We found something. We really hope you enjoy it. How would we like to go about the exchange here? Obviously, if I hand this over to you, can I trust you to give us the information we need, or should we talk about things first and then Lingus?
Place the creature in the hole you dug into my flesh.
Okay.
We dug into you. I am so sorry.
Yes, that wasn't comfortable.
We were unaware the ground here was sentient. I assure you.
So we kind of already were feeding you.
We were, yeah. Is that Paul?
I will not feast on a creature that I willed into this place.
Oh, you brought Paul here.
Ooh, yeah.
Paul's
So
like, hey, can you send me home?
Wiley says, okay, so I think we've got a lot of interest flying around here. Paul, do you have anything you want to know from this guy before we feed him? Or
I would just like to know if he can send me home. If he brought me here, then he could probably send me back.
Mr. Nehemiah, how do you feel about that? Any thoughts?
Kind of looks to, well, it doesn't look. Actually, yeah, it starts to part again, and you see Nehemiah emerge. And he says, my power has dwindled. I used the last to bring him here, to destroy the wizard. It's the scourge upon my surface.
Gotcha.
I cannot send him back.
You got that done, though, right? And so after we feed you, your powers will be better?
Not enough to send him home.
Oh, darn. Well.
If we fully restore your powers, could you send us all home?
Yes.
Huh!
Yori, you don't seem to be trusting that very much.
I don't even know what's really going on anymore. So
This is the illustrious King of Jolt, who says if we feed him that well enough, he'll send us home. Using his summoning, conjuring powers, I presume.
Well, it sounds like he's going to need a lot more food for that.
Yes.
But immediate problems seem to be 1, he needs food. 2, we need directions to civilization. Correct? So if we trade food for info, maybe Paul can help us get to civilization. Keep helping us find food. He's very good at that, right, Paul? Does that sound like okay?
Yes. I mean, if I'm stuck here, I'd rather have some traveling companions.
Exactly. Okay, so Paul's part of the family now. We're all gonna treat him well. Lingus, Lalu.
Fine.
Good. Thank you. Cool. Okay, so if there's no more things to talk about, I'm gonna throw the deer in the hole. Sound good?
Yeah.
Feed me the flesh.
Might as well.
I just
All right, so you drop it in, and immediately these vines start to kind of grow up over it, and you can hear the ground kind of this kind of quaking sound, like it's grinding into the ground itself. And every once in a while, you'll just like there'll be like a geyser of blood shooting straight up into the air from where this creature was, and then it goes quiet, and the creature slowly starts to move back to those 3 trees. And as he goes back to them, he starts to meld with these 3 trees again. And all you hear him say is, "I'll grant you your freedom. Now go."
Where?
All right. So
where are we going?
Okay. He didn't. He broke the deal. I think he doesn't want to talk anymore.
Beloved King, where is the nearest form of civilization? You did say you would point us towards it. Were my companions to feed you?
The jungle is full of civilization. Northward.
Northward. Thank you, good fellow. Thank you.
Good job, Lingus. Thank you.
May we cross paths again, often and peacefully.
There's no response to that.
I say to the bush as he's like melding back, I say like, who's like, oh no, wait, I don't know who, I didn't know, I wasn't there for the conversation. Never mind.
About the wizard?
About the wizard. I guess I know his name's Nehemiah, right?
I don't think we know his name.
Yeah.
Didn't he only tell Lingus?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he said his name. He said his name is Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, never mind. I was gonna talk to him about like Artis, because I knew that Artis was Nehemiah's, like he was trying to find him, and I don't know why, but I guess we'll talk about that later.
All right. So what do you guys do?
I guess
told you that there is civilization northward.
Yeah.
Right.
You still, so looking at the map, you still don't know which way is north.
my dear king, we're a little turned around. Which way is north?
Hey, wait, Paul might know. We should ask Paul.
Paul, do you know which way north is?
Well, I haven't really left the foliage of the jungle for quite some time. So if we get to the beach and I can see where the sun is setting and where it's rising, I could probably have a better idea. He kind of looks up in the sky. I suppose I could have a shot to guess at which way is north. You can also roll a survival. Well, anyone that has the skill can roll it.
Okay.
To see how to figure out north.
Why are these so bad today?
Yeah, I'll roll survival too, but it's gonna be really
mine was real bad.
13.
I'm winning the low rolls game today.
Yori, do you want to make a roll?
Oh, I thought you had to have the survival skill.
No. Sorry,
Okay.
you could just make the roll. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yori.
Nice.
Yay!
Fearless.
All right. So here you go. There.
You definitely fooled me.
Oh my gosh.
North was
North was
You
at
mean
the
to the beach?
Back towards the beaches north. Yes, you guys are heading south towards the
Oh.
mountains.
No, I'm saying this to the Lord of.
Yes.
Oh.
There's no answer from him. He is gone.
He's out. Cool. So I guess we go to the beach now, guys.
What just happened? Okay, let's go.
Maybe on our way to the beach, we can explain to Paul why we put him in a hole, Lingus. Because I would love to know, honestly.
Sure. And I'll kind of like fall behind and kind of pull Danny back. Not Danny.
Wiley.
Wiley, thank you. Back a little bit and say, Wiley, I feel I owe you an apology. You are a traveling companion of ours, and as such, you should be privy to all conversations and negotiations. I took you for the youth that you were and thought I ought to make decisions on your behalf. I apologize.
Okay. Wiley like doesn't make any eye contact and just listens. And then like once he's done, she just goes, "Oh, Lingus, you're so silly," and like picks him up into a huge hug and like
No, down, put me down. No.
drops him. It's all right. And I know Lalu's impressionable, but let's not do that shit anymore, okay?
He's
Thank you.
just
Yori stands with her hands up. He didn't even tell you why he did it still.
I was getting ready to like try to apologize, but then I saw her hug Lingus and I was just like, I'm good. Yeah, very impressionable. Can't help it. Not my fault. Not apologizing. No hugs. No thanks.
I guess I like Wiley just doesn't care as long as because she assumes that Lingus didn't actually even have a plan at all and was just doing this to be like a turd. So she's like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
So, do you guys continue heading back to the beach? Is that where you're going as you're walking and talking?
I guess so. Right? Right, guys? We gotta go
Yeah.
back to the beach now.
We
All
don't
right.
know that. We don't know that yet.
Isn't that north?
Yeah, but
It is north, yeah.
But there's
do
multiple
we-
civilizations. We spent the last 24 hours walking south, apparently.
Yes.
We can camp in that boat and then regroup from there.
So, yeah, do you want to head that way or do you want to stay where you are?
Let's head that way.
Okay. So you spend the rest of the day hiking back to the beach, and as the sun starts to set, you guys come out of the jungle's tree line and out onto this beautiful sandy beach. The weather is like absolutely perfect. There's even a bit of a nice cool wind coming off the ocean today. And you guys can all make a perception check.
That is not perception.
God, what am I doing today?
There we go.
This is-
Yikes.
Wow.
I say, Lingus, feel the breeze. Isn't that great?
Oh, so refreshing.
Yori, do you want to roll a perception too?
I did.
Oh, it's
I
not-
rolled a 2.
Oh, I don't see it here. Okay. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Yeah. So Lingus, you see an outline, a figure kind of crawling up out of the water as though they have just swam probably like a good 300 feet down. You just see the shadowed outline as the sun is slowly starting to set. You can't make out any details from this range, but there's someone coming out of the water.
My God, someone's drowning! Quickly, we must help them! And I dash to the beach.
All right, so is anyone following him? You don't see
No.
it.
Yori's
Wiley's
going,
just
oh, okay, let's help him. And she just walks behind him following. She's not really in a rush.
Okay.
I
Wiley-
sort of like jog a little bit, but I'm not. I'm more like trying to make sure that he doesn't hurt himself or like something's not super wrong, but I'm
Okay.
not like going full in.
I'm just watching him go.
Lingus, as you get closer, you get within about 30 feet. The sun is just really starting to set. You look to your right, and you can see some more heads popping up out of the water as they're coming up onto the beach. Do you slow down, or do you just keep going towards this
I'm
figure?
gonna slow down, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As are these human heads?
Yeah, so yeah, they're human. And as you slow down and you're about 15 feet away and you look to the water, there's about 5 or 6 heads slowly popping up. You look straight ahead and you see that the first one that you are running towards is King. And that's where we're going to take a quick break. And we'll come back and we'll find out what exactly is going on.
Oh my god!
Welcome back, everyone, to the second part of episode 3, where the crew has stumbled across an old friend washed up on the beach. Let's go. What do you do?
I begin walking away backwards.
Okay.
Yep, quickly.
All right, so you stop. I think Lalu was kind of half jogging behind, but your mic is off right now, Britt.
Sorry, I slow down. Is he like right in front of me to where I can be like,
you're a little bit behind
Can
him.
Can I see King?
From where you are, just make a perception roll to see if you figure out who it is. Yeah, so you're about 50 feet back, but you do see, oh, that's King. And as Lingus kind of turns back and starts walking, are you running away or are you just kind of walking away?
I'm just backpedaling.
Backpedaling. As he backpedals towards you, you look out into the water and you see that there are 7 more heads kind of popping up and they're walking, kind of crawling along the beach. You're pretty sure it's those sailors from the ship.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I saw them all eaten by sharks. I'm just like, they're supposed to be dead. They're dead. They're not dead anymore. I just start backing up too. This is not good. Definitely don't like undead things. So I'm excited to see King, but I'm also worried because I definitely watched him get just totally destroyed by a shark.
Yeah, he saw his
definitely
throat get
not
ripped
alive. So I am with Lingus, trying to get back to the group to tell them it's King. Everyone's dead. They're coming back. They're all dead. Just panicking, like, oh my God, we have to do something.
Wiley just says, ew.
Just give me a sec here.
Ew. Also, danger. Danger. Yes, danger is gross.
Danger is gross.
All right, so you guys meet back up, and those figures kind of just stop at the beach, and they're all standing up now. 8 of them in total, just kind of looking around, and they slowly start shambling towards the jungle line, away from you guys, not towards you, but just kind of up the beach. You guys are kind of coming from the side, and they're going straight up the beach.
Wiley gets down, hoping that they don't even notice her or anybody with her, but she just
So you're hiding?
Yeah, I'm just kind of shrinking as much as I can.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Drawing my short sword and backing up.
I'm also hiding. This is a situation where hiding seems like a good idea.
Okay.
Yori's pulling out her short bow.
Okay. So you guys sit there and watch. They continue on and they disappear into the jungle tree line.
Yori's following them.
What? No, Yori, no.
No, we have to figure out what the hell is going on.
I'm not for following them. We should definitely track them.
Yori's never let us astray yet.
Okay. Wiley's really doesn't understand. If they're going away, can we not just move along?
But Wiley, there's a reason that they're all being pulled out of the ocean, and it's not because they felt like it. So we need to figure out who is doing this.
Okay, I'll follow you guys.
So are you going to follow? Are you going to let them go and then try to track them, or are you going to follow them directly?
I vote we track them. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna move silently behind them. I still think Yori's not making two rational decisions because of just how much shit's been going on in the last 2 hours. She and Yori has a big sense of protecting partners. So King helped all King saved us. Right. Even if he is evil and dead now, she's going to let his soul to rest.
Okay.
So she's gonna follow him.
So Yori, you just kind of duck into the tree line and make your way around, following kind of where you saw them disappear into the jungle. You can make a stealth check.
Ooh. Yikes.
So you fall in behind. How close do you want to follow? You can keep a pretty good distance because there's 8 of them kind of just shambling through the jungle.
I'd say 50 feet.
Okay. So you're creeping along behind, keeping low, keeping the foliage close to your body. Well, there are, I guess, the 4 of you, including Paul Stamets, wait. Are you following Yori from a distance, or what are you guys doing?
I will try and follow Yori from a distance, but I'll follow Lalu
Yeah.
from a distance if Lalu follows Yori, because
I'm
I'm like
following Yori.
I'm big and heavy and I make a lot of noise,
Okay.
so I double back.
Yeah, I'm not the quietest person, so I'm trying not to mess with Yori, but I don't want her to get too far away to where I can't help her if something happens.
Okay.
I think like I'm still like arm in arm with Paul, and I'm like, I guess we're going this way, and then I just kind of follow Lingus to make sure nothing happens to him, like nobody flanks him or something.
Paul kind of looks down to you, Wiley. He's like, well, it seems like you know this person. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, he was on the ship. I didn't know him very well, but I think they're really good friends with him from a long time ago. But
Oh, that's awkward.
I know, right? So I guess we'll just make sure nobody dies and just stay back here because I don't want to mess with them. They seem to have a plan. We'll just...
Oh, well, that's good because I don't have one.
Me neither.
So you guys are at the far kind of back, just quietly following along. So Yori, you get within 50 feet and they're still kind of slowly shambling through the jungle. You can make a perception check as you get within 50 feet.
God damn it.
What is up with you guys?
I don't know.
My God.
I told
This is
you,
weird.
worst day of 2017. It's happening to all of us. I've brought it to the game. I'm so sorry.
If I have to shoot a bow, I'm okay. But anything
Yeah,
not.
you got to listen, not so good. So you're within about 50 feet, and you, even though you rolled really badly, the one thing that you do notice is that they're talking. You don't know what they're saying, but they're talking amongst themselves.
Okay.
But you can't make out what they're saying from this distance. You'd have to get
Right.
closer.
But they seem more coherent rather than like The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Okay. Yori tries to get a little closer to see if maybe she can hear a little better.
How close do you want to get?
Let's do 30 feet.
Make another stealth check.
Oh.
I will. In this case, I will give you advantage because you're small and it's a very dense jungle. I'll give you advantage.
Thanks.
So you get within 30 feet, and you hear King speaking as they're all walking. They're not like turning to talk to each other. They're just walking through the jungle, and King is talking kind of quietly to the others or to himself, and you just hear him say, "Good to be home."
Yori hears that and thinks that King is somehow alive. Maybe it was an illusion that we all saw, and that's how we all came up to the beach alive or something. And she calls out to King.
You call out
What
to
are
him?
you doing?
All right. So all of a sudden, all of them slowly come to a stop. And King turns, and he's got that mask on. Like he's still wearing what he used to wear. But as he turns, now you can make a perception roll with advantage.
No, wait, I want a disadvantage. Give me the disadvantage.
No, you get the higher of the two.
Oh,
You're
okay.
good. You see that his throat right here has been like ripped out, like a big part of his flesh is like opened almost down to the bone. And his skin is very gray and withered almost. And he turns around. Yori?
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm
dealt
doing
with
okay.
Jessamine, who was a dead person, Jorm, who was a dead person. Yori's kind of okay with dead people by now.
Yeah. She knows more people that are dead than alive at this point.
Yeah.
So he starts to walk over towards you. He doesn't have any weapons, and he knows where you are now. What are the rest of you guys doing? You guys hear her call out to him.
I run up to tell her to shut up. What are you doing?
So as you
What
run
are
up,
you doing?
you see King standing 15 feet away. He's like, "Oh, Lalu, good to see you again."
Yeah. What are you doing here? What's
Just going
Why?
home. I'm just
How?
going home.
Do
Thought I'd bring some of my friends with me, and they all kind of turn around and look kind of blankly at you.
Do you guys remember the last time? Do you remember the last time we saw you?
Well,
Do you remember
my memory's kind of hazy. I remember there was a crash of some kind, and I've been swimming and for ages. It feels like.
Okay.
I was trying to find you guys.
What's going on with this?
With what? Sorry.
Are you? Let me just. So, are you dead?
I don't think so.
Dead?
I'm walking around.
I know that. Listen, I saw you be eaten by a shark. Your neck looks, from here, not so good.
Oh,
do you
what?
think that maybe you might be dead and you don't know?
My neck, and he reaches in, and you see his hand go into his neck. And as he's talking, his vocal pattern changes, like he's almost touching his vocal cords. He's like, "Oh, hey, oh. What happened?"
Wiley's like inching towards, like at this point, like she's still hanging on to Paul, like really low, just like kind of creeping in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's undead at this point, like 100%. So I am like much less inclined to continue talking to him at this point. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop asking him questions and kind of start backing up.
Lingus, what are you doing?
Kind of confused. Not entirely certain that this is great. Hoping I haven't been spotted far in the back. And
you don't think you have been. You're about 100 feet back still.
Looks like these guys have a handle on it. 100 feet back is like 2 rounds of combat movement. So I'm going to get a little bit closer if I can, so that I can like...
Okay. But you want to be stealthy about it?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Never mind.
So you're staying where you are?
I stay where I am.
Okay. So he looks down, King, at the both of you. Well, what happened? Like, how come you're okay?
We woke up to the ship crashing, and we were able to get to a ledge in time and make it to shore.
So, what happened to me? Why wasn't I on the boat? Did you leave me there? Did you leave me behind?
No, Lalu said that you died and got eaten, so we left.
So you left me behind?
Well, we thought you were eaten. And now that I see you are not fully eaten, just partially, I'm here. How's it going?
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh, I'm so persuasive. Snapping fingers.
Well, I thought I was doing good, but I'm dead. So.
But you remember Jessamine? She was dead too, and she's fine, kind of.
I don't think I'm fine. I can touch my vocal cords.
Wiley like keeps scooting forward still, like.
Okay. Wiley, are you being trying to be quiet?
Yeah, just slowly, constant inching.
All right, make a stealth check.
Try to hear.
Oh, damn. All right,
I am
20.
the wind.
All right, so you get within like 20 feet, no problem, but no one seems to have noticed you yet.
Cool. And I still have Paul, like.
Yeah, Paul's. I'll make a roll for Paul here.
He's
I'm just gonna roll it on the side here.
Hanging on to him.
All right. He seems to be doing pretty well, pretty quiet. Not as quiet as you, but he's quiet. All right. So yeah, he looks down to you, Yori. I suppose if I was already getting my throat torn out, I understand that you might leave me behind.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I keep forgetting that we're in some crazy undead island place that being bitten in the neck doesn't really mean death.
You know, it didn't always used to be this way. This place is really fucked up right now.
Well, you said that you were going home. What is
Yes,
that?
I don't know if I will now, if I'm in danger. If I'm undead, I might start eating people close to me, you know?
Oh. Is that what people do?
I don't know. I am hungry.
You know, we just dealt with feeding another guy, so I think we could probably scrounge something else up. And although your neck, you might have a problem actually ingesting
Yeah, I
it.
don't know how it's gonna work.
It's
gonna be awkward. Where are you going? What are you doing here?
We were told by some plant druid that there's civilization towards the north, which you're going in the opposite direction, by the way.
I'm gonna get him to make a roll. So he kind of looks around. Well, not exactly sure where we are right now, but that city is very interesting. The city in the water. I had to swim past. There's a giant shark that I managed to get away from. That was lucky. A couple of the sailors weren't so lucky, but I suppose they're dead, so it doesn't really matter. He's gonna see where he is. Just 1 second here.
Are we just ignoring that he said city in the water?
Yeah, you guys floated over it.
Okay.
He says, I believe that is Ishao. So north is that way, and he points, in the direction that the Nehemiah told you. And that means that the Nisi wastes are just over here, and he points in this direction on the screen. I suppose you could follow the coast. Are you trying to get back to the city?
Wiley stands up out of the grass and goes, "Yeah!"
Oh, jeez. Oh, wait, I don't have a heart, so that didn't really affect me too much.
Sorry. I don't know if you remember me, but I was on the boat. We met for a sec. This is Paul. He likes mushrooms. He's real nice. I promise.
Hello, Paul. Paul just kind of nods. He's like, good to meet you.
Hello, King.
Oh, Lingus. I didn't see you stand. I did hear you coming for the last, 50 feet or so, but you look good. Have you seen my neck? Watch as I can touch my vocal cords.
Wiley's like, does that hurt?
Nothing really hurts.
Can I touch it? No, never mind. I don't want to. Sorry.
Don't want you putting any fingers in any of my holes.
Okay,
please.
that's fine. I understand. My bad.
Might get infected,
Yeah, you could get an infection and die or something. Wait.
That was uncalled for.
Sorry.
So, are you trying to head back to the city, or where are you going?
I think we're trying to head back to the city so we can attempt to get off the island again. It worked so well the first time.
We're quite a couple 100 miles away from port, whatever that town is called, Nyanzaru. But if you go in that direction, and he points, and this is kind of the direction he points, you see that on the screen. If you keep heading north, you will eventually find it, but be careful. I'm just going to return home, I think. Did you say something, Yori?
What is your home? Oh, sorry.
Well, I live in the jungles of Chult, not far from here. Well, not close, but further inland west. You were kind of around that area when we met, actually.
King seems like he's not gonna outrightly eat any of us, so I start to approach him again, and I ask him, like, do you know anything about the jungle, the alive jungle, the jungle that comes to life?
His name's Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Nehemiah.
Really weird.
Yeah,
He's a druid.
I know Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He's asking for flesh?
Why?
Do you know him?
I know Nehemiah.
What's-
He's some weird druid that lives
Not
probably
anymore.
10, 15 miles south of here.
And now he's a weirder druid, and maybe you should go talk to him if you guys are friends, because you probably have a lot to catch up on. He's made some changes, I think, since you met him last. I mean, I don't want to put you in danger. He seems like he's in a bad mood all the time. I don't know.
You're not just trying to send me there to feed him, are you?
No, I don't even know if he'd eat you. He wants flesh, and like I don't know.
I'm
You don't
flesh.
really
Thank you
count.
very much.
Well,
You're
not
undead
fresh.
flesh. He
You're
might
not
have
fresh flesh.
preferences. I don't know. It's up to you. I don't want to put you in danger. We did try to warn you. He's trying to eat stuff. So if you think you might get eaten, definitely don't visit him. But he's being weird.
maybe if King's friends with him, he could help us convince him to send us home. We can't get to the city. It's too far away.
I don't know that I could convince him of anything if he's some kind of weird rabbit flesh-eating plant monster.
Well,
I just knew him when he was Nehemiah, a guy that ran around in the woods naked a lot.
Definitely naked now.
I'm getting really frustrated because all I want to do is go back to my hometown and run vengeance on all the people who wronged me. So I do not want to spend weeks and weeks traveling back up to the city. So I am very, very much in favor of going back and bringing King to talk to Nehemiah. Do you guys agree with that?
I feel if we're going to bring King, we also ought to bring more offerings.
That's
Otherwise
very
he'll
good.
think King is an offering.
Yeah, we don't want anybody else getting eaten.
Perhaps we could find a dinosaur, slay it, and bring it back to Nehemiah.
Dinosaur would have to be enough flesh, right?
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And I've seen dinosaurs here. We've all seen dinosaurs here, right?
I don't want to kill the dinosaurs.
Well, if King lived here,
What is he promising you
Do
exactly?
that.
he said he would teleport us home.
What?
Is he?
Teleported the other little one here.
Yeah, he did teleport Paul here. I mean, obviously that's different than like what.
Well, yeah, he's probably summoned him here. I don't think he can do it the other way around.
He said he could, and he's the king of this land, so I suppose he knows what he's talking about.
I would be skeptical to trust him.
No, one noble to another, but we speak honestly and frankly. There's no reason he would betray me.
All right, Lingus.
Well, King, do you have any? I mean, I know you just want to go home, and you can do that all on your own. But like, do you have any other plans for getting home quickly, or like any other ways to convince this dude? Maybe he does have the powers. I don't know.
I would be happy to show you back to the port city if that's what you want.
Oh, well, guys, what do you think of that? I mean, the really close one was not super close, right?
Right.
Like how far away?
It was
The closest city? He says the port city is probably a couple hundred miles.
Oh, so definitely not gonna get there anytime.
It'll take a while to get there, yeah. But the king says, I know the jungles pretty well. If it was just you on your own, I can guarantee you it would take you a lot longer, but I know some of the shortcuts and the ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lovely. How long will it take to bring us there?
It's probably going to take a couple of weeks.
Ooh.
Lalu, Yori, are you okay with that?
I mean, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, it's either go back and talk to Plant Man or just go back to the city and try to figure out our way from there.
If we
Fair
go
enough.
back to Port Nyanzaro, we could potentially King get you fixed. Because Jessamine currently working on Jorm.
True.
I mean, I think I'd rather just not be around those people anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'll figure this thing out. I'm good.
You seem to be doing pretty okay right now, so maybe it's just a new thing. I don't know.
It's
Maybe
got to
you're
take
just
life as it comes,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Same with
Very
death.
good spirits.
So King says he'll join you and help you navigate the jungle. He basically says that you need to head kind of in this direction, and he's willing to lead the way. But I would prefer if you guys kind of choose where you want to go on the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like,
So each of the normally you could only really go one hex at a time per
Mhm.
day. You can actually go 2. And in
Cool.
some cases, if King rolls well, you can actually do 3.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, I guess we just want to go up and, around as northwards as possible.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So the first day, King leads you. We'll say because it's beach, you're basically following the beach for a long time. So this one only really takes you a day. You walk 20 miles along this beach, and by the end of the end of the second day, you're feeling fine. It's not heavy going. You're out in the air. It's still hot, but along the way, King is actually finding food for you. He's able to like spear some fish. Uses your short sword, Lingus, and he gets some fish for you. So while he's in your party, you guys don't need to worry about food or water.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
So after 2 days of walking along the beach, King and those sailors are following him, by the way.
Okay.
have they spoken yet?
They talk amongst themselves. They seem to have come to grips with the fact that they are dead. But you hear one of the guys like, what else are we going to do? I don't know. I'm only good at one thing, and that's sailing, so I may as well get back to the city. Maybe I can get another job.
How many of them are there?
There's 7.
Oh,
7
boy.
sailors plus King.
Okay.
So at the end of 2 days, that's how far you get. Where do you want to go from there? Keep following the beach?
Yeah, it seems like the deep forest has held dangerous things for us. So let's follow the coast as long as we can.
All right. So you guys follow the coast. We're saying you go 3 hexes, you get 30 miles. If he just kind of has these paths that he seems to know along these beaches, you're moving it at a really good pace. And yeah, basically a day later, you have moved 50 or a total of 50 miles from where you started off. You're still following this beach line, and you start to notice that the jungle starts to kind of encroach on the beach a little bit. And at the end of that day of traveling, King kind of, as you settle down and make a camp and break out some food that he has supplied for you and some water, he basically says, we're going to have to go through the jungle at some point. There is still beach line, but those beaches are often patrolled by hideous flesh-eating monsters. So it's kind of a risk going into the jungle as well, as you know, but I'll leave that decision up to you. I can lead you as best I can, but there's a risk either way. The jungle will slow us down a little bit, but the beaches are a little bit precarious here.
Mm.
Well, you are the expert. This is your home.
Are we really prepared to fight a bunch of monsters? We do have 7 undead now. Fine gentlemen in our party that might be able to help us in case we get into a scrape. So I think the beach sounds best.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. So you guys, I want each of you guys to make in... what's the skill check in this one? There's not intuition in this one. What is it when you're... Is it investigation? When you're trying to like sense motive. It used to be sense motive.
Is insight?
Insight,
Yeah.
yeah. I want you guys all to make an insight check. Britt, you have the worst rolls
I have
today.
no idea what's going on. Yeah.
Neil rolls 9s all the time. There you go.
Oh, Yori, thank you.
Nice. Woohoo.
So over the course of the last couple of days, you after the 3 days have passed of you traveling on the beach, and you guys are all talking and conversing. Even King is still fairly, he talks in the way that he normally does, but no one else has really noticed except for you that even though he's been catching food and getting water, he hasn't eaten anything in 5 days.
No.
And on the last day, you're starting to think that he's starting to look at everybody. And so the sailors are starting to look at everybody in the party a little bit differently than they used to.
Yori goes up to King, maybe just casually, but not really close. But it, probably when we're all just taking a breather, and by all, I guess not the undead people, but us.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, how you feeling, man? How's the whole being undead thing working out?
Well, it's an adjustment. I thought about eating some of that fish I've been catching you, but it smells terrible. And I don't want it.
Huh.
And I find it strange that I still have this energy to I haven't slept in 5 days. I haven't eaten or had anything to drink.
Well, you're dead.
Kind of nice that you don't have to sleep, but your brain doesn't shut down. You don't get to dream.
Oh, okay. Is there a possibility that something bad is happening right now?
He kind of narrows his eyes. I don't know. Make a persuasion check with him. 16.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of gets closer to you, maybe a little bit uncomfortably close, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, kind of kneels down to get to your level because he's a fairly large half-orc, as you remember.
Right.
And he says, I haven't dreamed in 5 days, but I do imagine sometimes what everyone might taste like.
King, I want to thank you for all the help that you have given us. We would not have made it this far without you, most likely. But I think now we need to separate ways, and we need to potentially have different goals. You can go back to your homeland. I think we're going to make our way back to the city on our own.
He nods. This is probably for the best. And he pulls up kind of like a fresh, he had a bunch of fish that he caught, and he hands you the bag and he says, I think this should help you for at least a couple of days. And he draws a little map. He just, while he's standing there, he tries to sketch out on a parchment, or he just actually on the ground. He just draws it on the ground on a parchment. He wouldn't have that, but he sketches it out on the ground, and he actually reveals more of the map to you.
Dear God, this jungle just keeps going on
Yeah.
and on and on.
Oops.
So he draws it out as best he can, and he says, be wary of the coastline. It's not a safe place. There are all kinds of creatures. Sahuagin will take people from the beach and drag them into the depths. I would avoid it if possible. But the jungle can also be dangerous. I'm not very, very familiar with the jungles from around here, but I know my way through them.
Okay.
There are things out there that would wish you harm as well.
Yori pauses for a moment. I don't mean this to be offensive, but something might be happening to you, and you might not be yourself in a few days. Do you want me to kill you? She says it in the most potentially unawkward way that you could ask that question.
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh my god.
This is great.
Okay, and it was actually with a disadvantage. So 16. he kind of looks back. Yes, but I can't speak for the others.
Oh, yeah, I don't really care about them. They can go wander the jungle forever. I care about you, though, and I don't think I would want to spend the rest of my life without control of my own body. So I just wanted to offer you the option.
I'll take that option.
Hey! Oh, and he still has the sword, right? Lingus' sword?
Yeah, well, he probably would have gave it back to him. Yeah, he's got it in his hand. Yeah.
Because, okay, so she's not going to do it with a bow.
So he hands you the blade. Is anyone everyone else make a perception roll to see if you notice this happening?
We're just like walking along, and then, oh, where's King? I killed him.
Oh yeah. Okay, Lalo, you see this going on. You hear little bits of the conversation.
Yeah, I approve of all of these things being said.
However, you did not notice that he has not been eating. You think he's still not like he's not dead, but you don't notice.
I still know he's like undead, basically, right?
Yeah.
I think the level of my distaste for undead people is high enough that even if I haven't noticed that he's not eating or anything, I'm still suspicious of everyone who is undead. So hearing Yori saying that, I assume that there is something I don't know, and just decide to let it happen. And if he's agreeing to die, I think that's probably best.
All right.
Yeah, so I kind of just don't say anything because I don't want Wiley to like hear and try and argue because she wants to be friends with everyone. So I just stay quiet. I just let it happen.
All right. Lingus, you don't notice this. You're just kind of still marching along with the other, like the 7 sailors. Wiley and Paul Stamets are hanging out in the back, not noticing, oblivious, maybe telling, what are you and Paul doing in the back?
I think we're probably talking about mushrooms.
Oh, definitely. He's been educating you quite a lot.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to give you, because you spend so much time with him, you have it's basically like a tool, or like if you're using a musical instrument, it's a proficiency. Mycology.
Yay.
You now know how to harvest them and maybe how to dry them or cure them, depending on what you want to do with them. You know how to find them.
That's awesome. My other D&D character would love this. Anyway.
So, Yori, what do you do?
I tell all the sailors that we're going to change course, and we're going to make our way west, away from the shoreline.
So into the jungle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Yori asks them if they can go scout ahead, and she's very deceptive about it.
Make a persuasion roll.
Not deception. I mean, I guess.
Oh, deception. Sorry, deception. Yeah.
Very deceptive.
All right. So they just they look at you a little bit, and they start to walk, and they look back, and they're like, "King, come on."
Oh, actually, King and I are going to go catch some fish, just so that we make sure that we're ready for the rest of our trip.
So they kind of shrug and slowly start walking into the jungle. You see them disappearing into the heavy foliage of the jungle. King looks to you and says, I don't really understand what it is, but there's a connection between me and those sailors. We have some kind of weird empathy with each other. I think they're going to know if I die.
Oh. All right. Well, while they go walk off and hopefully we get some distance from them, is there anything you want to say to the rest of the gang?
I'm good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, guys, just a lot of crazy shit's been going on, but in just a few moments, I'm going to need you to trust me, and we're going to have to go a little north and just like kind of go fast.
Aren't we already heading north?
You're talking to all of us, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
To our group.
Wiley says, "Is everything okay? What's wrong? Is something wrong?"
Everything's fine. We're
Okay.
we're gonna go catch fish. We're gonna go continue north, and we're gonna let our sailor friends go west in a second.
Oh,
Okay.
Yori's a little nervous about Wiley as well.
I back her up. I'm just like, this sounds like the absolute best idea. This sounds like the absolute best idea. I think
Okay.
It sounds like you've worked everything out. Sounds like Yori's got everything all covered. No need to ask any more questions. Say no more. Let's do this.
No, I trust you, Yori. It's okay. You don't have to. It's fine. Are we in a hurry though? Like, should we go?
We'll be back in a minute. And she just stops talking and walks off with King
Oh,
All right. So just King and Yori are going off?
onto the shoreline.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the rest of you are going into the jungle? Is that right? Or along the coastline a little bit further?
I think we're waiting for her to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand around and.
Yeah. She told us to just hang tight, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then we just stay here until
Staying at the edge of the jungle here while she goes off onto the beach. Okay.
Yeah.
So Yori, you walk out with King, and he kind of stands there for a second, and he's kind of like the sun is slowly starting to set, and he's kind of standing there like he's taking in the last moments, and he looks down to you. You know, I always hated this fucking place. And he just like gets down on a knee and puts his kind of neck out for you.
Thank you for everything, King.
Well,
And
take care of yourself.
oh yes, thank God. I'm glad I didn't roll one.
The clean slice. You chop off the head of King, and his body just kind of falls to the beach and goes still. Meanwhile, the three of you, you've been watching those guys disappear. Like, they're pretty far ahead. They're a couple 100 feet away. But you can still make a perception roll as the sun slowly kind of sets on this region.
I'm tall. I can see over the bushes.
Lingus, did you roll?
Oh, I'm sorry. I kind of just assumed Lingus wasn't paying attention.
All right. Both Lingus and Wiley, Lingus, maybe just turn her around so she doesn't see what's going on the beach. And you both, as you do that, those sailors are about 300 feet in the distance, and they're just going out of your view when you see the foliage and the leaves kind of start to like shake in a direction straight towards where those sailors are walking. And all of a sudden you see one of them just go, you hear like a, and one of them drops underneath the foliage. And then you hear another one, and gets dragged underneath.
I start pulling my companion and heading out towards where Yori went a little bit quickly.
Okay.
Let's go.
As you turn, you can see that those sailors are turning and running back towards where you guys are.
Run!
They're
quickly,
running
go.
very fast, actually, for being undead. They move as their normal human selves would have moved. And you can hear this rustling coming up behind them as they start to like come towards the tree line where you are. Are you guys running out onto the beach?
Run it. Yori, my sword! Yori, sword!
Yeah, I think we're running towards Yori. So
Okay, so you guys, all of a sudden, Yori, you look back and they burst out of the tree line, and you hear Lingus calling for his sword.
Wait, no, don't come over here. You don't want to see this. You don't want to see
Yori,
this.
Yori, sword!
Huh? What? Wait,
Monsters, something big, scary.
Yori's hiding like the sword behind her that's covered in King's blood.
So you don't even have time to really kind of figure out what's going on. As you turn around, you see 4 of these sailors kind of running out of the tree line or the jungle tree line down the beach, and bursting out from behind them, you see a giant crab being ridden by a crazy looking halfling. with a spear, and he's going, yeah, and that is where we're going to end this week's episode.
Crab Wars.
Season 3, or episode 3 of Misscliks Risen.
Oh my god.
Britt, over to you.
Hey, it's me, Britt Wiseman. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Britt Wiseman on Twitter and Cheerhex on Twitch. I'll be playing some Battle Chef Brigade this Sunday morning if you guys want to hang out with me then. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great weekend, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny Hartel. I'm not doing much right now, but I have a lot of stuff coming up that you're going to want to know about. So follow me on Twitter. That's where all the deets will be. But yeah, this game was super fun. How about you, Neil?
Hey everybody, I'm Neil Gallery Koibu Pass Erickson. I got a bunch of D&D shows all on my channel all the time, mostly second edition. They're super fun. They're all the time. Kelly.
Hey guys, I'm Kelly Link on the internet. I'm known as Hello Kelly Link. You can follow me on Twitter for any updates of anything I'm going to be doing. And this Saturday, I'm going to be hosting with Rachel Battle Cars Live, which is going to be the super sweet battleships, but with cars exploding, which they did with Top Gear. So please check it out, guys. It's going to be really, really cool. It's happening this Saturday, I believe, at one show at 10 a.m. PST and then one show at 1 p.m. PST. I might be incorrect, but again, follow me on Twitter for more information of that. Curtis. That episode was ridiculous. There's so many emotions.
Well, you guys surprised me a few times, so I didn't fully expect you to have a conversation with a shambling mound, but you did. It made it much more interesting, in my opinion. But I am Curtis Weeb. I am the DM of this crazy game, and you can find me on Twitter at Curtis J. Weeb. I'm also a writer. I do a series called Rat Queens. I'm also writing Gears of War, so if you guys are fans of comics, that's kind of my gig. But anyway, we will be back, I believe, next Wednesday with episode 4, and we're going to see what exactly this crazy halfling ripping around on a giant crab is all about. So please come back next week and keep fit and have fun.
Bye!
Bye!